Today we're looking at the most affordable cities on the Fort Worth side of the Metroplex. We're covering the west side of the Metroplex, which mostly consists of Tarrant County and Denton County. Now the criteria for making this list is quite simple. Number one, each city that we feature needs to be at most, and I really mean it, at most 30 minutes from downtown Fort Worth. And most of the cities that we're featuring today average about 20 minutes from downtown anyway, so that's not going to be a big issue. And every city that we include in this list also needs to have at least a 15,000 resident population, because that'll give us a healthy mix of schools, parks, things to do, and also some homes that are actually available for sale, aka inventory. And of course, the number one criteria is that each city needs to be affordable. And how we're defining affordable today is comparing the average sales price of all the cities close to Fort Worth and coming up with the list. So before we begin, I want to welcome you to the DFW Homeowner YouTube channel. My name is Jaime Resendez. I'm a realtor and team leader able to help you make money in real estate whether you're buying or selling. All right, so let's get going. Coming in at number 5, we have Saginaw. Saginaw is in Tarrant County, just northwest of Fort Worth, with a population of 24,000. Saginaw is one of those cities that had a recent boom, given that there's a lot of new construction out there, meaning there's a lot of homes that are being manufactured. Saginaw is one of those cities that many people moved to because they couldn't find the home that they wanted within Fort Worth city limits. So with the loop and I-35 being so close, a lot of people moved out there because they could get into Fort Worth pretty quickly. And the average home price in Saginaw right now is roughly $355,000. And at number 4, we have Crowley, Texas. Crowley is also in Tarrant County, but this time it's south of Fort Worth with a population of 16,000. And it's one of those cities that's going to be consumed by the Fort Worth city limits very, very soon. And Crowley is also one of those cities that's very near and dear to my heart because I actually have 3 properties in the city. I first started buying in Crowley in 2019 without knowing anything about the city. The only thing I did was search on the MLS for brand new homes under $200,000 because I was actually looking for another client of mine. But when I came out to the new community to check it out, I just thought the prices were so dang good on a brand new home that I ended up signing a contract on the spot. In fact, right around that time, I actually shot a video of a property that I toured on that day, which is pretty cool. And now those homes that were selling for $200,000 are selling for $400,000. But with all that being said, there's still a lot of opportunity in Crowley. There's big developments that are going up right now. In fact, there's a big 300 home development right next to the new stadium that Crowley High School is building. And the average sales price right now is roughly $344,000. All right, so number 3, I'm giving it to Burleson. Burleson is in Tarrant and Johnson County, just south of Crowley. But even being this far south, it only takes 20 minutes tops to get to downtown Fort Worth, and has a population of 50,000. Burleson is quite similar to Saginaw and Crowley in the sense that you have a lot of residents that live in Burleson but work downtown or in other cities that have higher real estate prices. And like Saginaw and Crowley, the largest employer is the school system. So most of the residents either work in Main Street businesses such as banks, grocery stores, local offices such as dentist offices and things of that nature, or they're commuting to work. And something that I like about Burleson is that it has a good mixture of resales, meaning homes that are being sold again, and new construction. And given that there's actual room to grow around Burleson, there's a ton of development that's starting to take hold. Now the south of Fort Worth may not be developing as fast as the north part of Fort Worth is, however, it's still growing rapidly. And when it comes to affordability, the homes in Burleson are averaging about $399,000. And coming in with the second spot, we have Arlington, Texas. Arlington is in Tarrant County and east of Fort Worth. In fact, it's right in the middle of the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, and the third largest city in the Metroplex with 400,000 residents. Arlington's a city that's really been a staple over the years of affordable cities around the DFW Metroplex because you can find basically any type of housing for relatively good price. You have a ton of entertainment because of all of the corporations that didn't want to pay Dallas or Fort Worth prices, they come out to Arlington. You have Six Flags, you have the Dallas Cowboys Stadium, you have the Texas Rangers Stadium. You have a ton of world-class entertainment that comes out to Arlington. Now, if you look at the heat map of Arlington, you see that the newer homes are towards the south part of the city. And this is illustrated by a darker shade of red. And Arlington is one of those cities that you're not going to find too many new construction communities. 10 years ago, that was a different story. Even 5 years ago, that was a different story. But today, you're pushing up against Mansfield. And at this point, Arlington is landlocked. So there's not going to be new developments, new construction when it comes to homes, all that much. But with all that being said, and the incredible location that Arlington is strategically positioned in, it's still pretty inexpensive when you think about it. The average home prices in Arlington are $415,000. And number one, I have to give it to one of my favorite cities of all time, which is North Richland Hills. North Richland Hills is in Tarrant County, north of Fort Worth, with 70,000 residents. One of the reasons that I like North Richland Hills so much is because of the accessibility. You have the loop right there, which will put you in any part of Fort Worth that you need to be. You have Highway 121 to get you to downtown Fort Worth, and you have Highway 183 to get you to both airports and to Dallas. Now, something that I really appreciate North Richland Hills for is the proximity to powerhouse cities that are so coveted. Cities like Colleyville, Keller, and Southlake. So you get the benefit of their restaurants, their parks, their entertainment, and their amenities without having to pay the real estate prices for them. Now, a fun fact that I have actually mentioned in a previous video is that I used to own a boba tea shop in North Richland Hills. So it was through that experience, as I was researching that location and ultimately opening up the location, that let me know how much North Richland Hills actually has going on. And although the average home price for North Richland Hills is $488,000, which makes it the most expensive city on this affordable list, I think it's well worth it. Now, I want to hear from you. Is there a city that you would have included in this affordable list lineup? Or is there a city that shouldn't be here? Let me know.